Hi guys. So as promised, Christmas is coming and some of you may want to learn how to make a never-ending scrunchie. And so today that's what I'm going to teach you how to do. I use three different sizes. I use small, and then I use a bigger one that's a regular, and then I also use a big jumbo one for my scrunchies. Today, if you can make one, you can make all of them. It is the same. So I'm going to start with a small, and I'm going to make it as a regular so that you learn all the steps so you can make anything. But I'm going to start with a small one just so you can see how it goes. You don't necessarily need one of these. However, I did grab one as we're transitioning into the regular size. It might be a good idea to learn how to use a stitch marker. We're also going to be using a ergonomic J-hook crochet hook for this project, and we're going to be using some Bernat baby blanket yarn. Let me just put that up like so. And the very first thing that we're going to do is we're going to cast onto our crochet hook. So the way that we do that is we're just going to put it over the crochet hook. We're going to bring our tail over, and we're going to bring our yarn over, and we're going to make it just like so. In my video previous to this, I did go through how to cast on in more detail, so if you need more help with that, just simply refer back to my previous video on how to cast onto a crochet hook and how to make a basic chain. Next, we're going to take this. This is a hair tie. You can find them in any hair section. Scrunchie makes them. You can even use different generic brands if you want to. I prefer the Scrunchie brand, but honestly, there's not really a big difference no matter which one you use. And I'm going to take the end of my crochet hook and I'm going to put it through the circle, just like so. Did you catch that? Let's do that one more time. My yarn is cast onto my hook. I'm going to take the end and I'm going to bring it through the circle towards me. Next, I'm going to grab my yarn. I'm grabbing the tail and the actual yarn, because as I start, I'm going to sew or crochet around all of it. Notice how I'm holding this. I'm holding it in such a way that I have access to the scrunchie, and I'm holding this like so. So I'm going to go under here, and I'm going to grab my yarn and pull it up, and then I'm going to grab it again, and I'm going to pull it through. That's the hardest part about this, is learning how to cast on to a scrunchie. So we're just going to pull that off real quick. And I'm going to just pop my thing back through here because I didn't undo everything. So it's still easy to cast onto here. Let's do that again. We're going to go through the hook. I'm going to bring it real close. I'm going to grab it with my fingers down here. I'm going to run my other fingers up like so that I'm working right here, okay? I'm going to go under, and I'm going to grab my yarn. And I'm just bringing it back over around. Now I'm going to go over the black cord, and I'm going to grab it, and I'm going to pull it through both stitches that are on my hook. Make sense? Okay, so now we're going to do that kind of again. See where my crochet hook's at? We're going to go under, we're going to grab the yarn, and we're going to come back over and grab the yarn and go back through. Let me turn that off. All right. Next, we're going to we got a little tail here, so we're just going to kind of hold it so that it's in line with this right here. We're going to go under, grab it, over, grab it, go through, under, grab it, over, grab it, go through. I'm going to bring you closer now so that I can show you a little bit better, because I don't have an overhead. One yet. So I'm going to undo this, and we're going to show all those steps again real quick so that you guys can see all the different steps, and then we're just going to go with it. So in this case, I went over too much. So here we go. We're going to go over my crochet hook, bring it over. I'm going to hold it. See how I'm holding it right here? I'm going to go over and I'm going to pull it through. So now I'm cast on. I'm going to take my hook. I'm going to put my crochet hook through it. I'm going to put my finger in the hole and my middle finger too. And I'm grabbing these with my small. So see how my yarn is holding this. My finger went through and my middle finger went through to kind of hold it apart. See how I did that? You see how I'm holding it? Okay, so now I'm trying to do this sideways so you can see it good. You see how I can do this so you can see real good. All right, get a good hold on it. All right, I'm gonna go, can you guys see? Let me see. Get my finger out of the way. I'm gonna go under, and I'm gonna grab it and bring it over. Then I'm gonna go over, and I'm gonna pull it through. So I'm going under and grabbing my yarn, and then I'm going over and grabbing my yarn. Now, if you have a little tail that sticks up, don't worry. You can get rid of that later, or you can continue to sew it in. In fact, I think I'll just go ahead and sew it in. Go under, over. All right. So now, let's see if I can hold it like this and let you see. We're going to go under, grab it, over, grab it. When I'm saying under, I'm talking about this black thing right here. I'm going under the black thing to grab the yarn, and then I'm going over the black thing to grab the yarn and pull it through. You see how I'm doing that? Under, over, under, over, under, over. And we're going to do this through the duration of this till we get all the way to the other side. Under. I'm going to speed it up. Feel free to slow this video down if you need to. Rewatch the steps if you need to. We're just going to get all the way around. There's no certain amount of stitches or steps to take. You're just going to do it until you get all the way around the scrunchie. All the way around the scrunchie. We're just going a little bit faster so we can get to the next step. And again, one more time, we're going to go under and over and pull it through. All right, so now we have, it's all the way around. And so you'll notice that you have little stitches. See how there's like V's? Do you see the V right here? Each one of those is going to be a stitch. And so what we're going to do is we're going to take this crochet hook and we're going to go through both of the first ones. And I'm just going to kind of separate them a little bit so you can see. See, we're through both sides and we still have one on our hook. Now we're going to go over and we're going to grab that thread and we're just going to pull it through both. So now we kind of have like a little wreath here. You see how that works? At this point, you're going to pull a little bit of extra yarn so that you have plenty to work with so you're not having to fiddle with it through the process. Bear with me, I'm just getting some of this. And now we're going to go in through the next stitch, just like so. See what we did? Then we're going to go over, grab that yarn, and we're going to have 2 loops on our hook. We're going to go over again and pull it through both. Now we're going to chain 4. Earlier on the previous video, we learned how to make a chain. That's what we're going to do. We're going to do 4 of them. Pull it over and through. 1. Over and through. 2. Over, through, 3. Over, through, 4. Now we're going to come back down and we're going to go to this next stitch right here. And we're going to go into the stitch. We're going to go pull that thread through. We got 2 on there. We're going to pull it over one more time. Pull it through. Now we're going to chain 4. Over, through, 1. Over, through, 2. Over, through, 3. Over, through, 4. And you have a chain right here. See how we've made a little loop-de-loop there? We're going to do these all the way around. So what we're going to do is we're going to go into the very next stitch. Find the next V. Can you see the V right here? We're going to go into that next V. We're going to use this yarn. It's just going over. We're going to grab it with our hook and pull it through that V. Now we have 2 on our hook. We're going to go over and pull it through both. Chain 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. again into the next stitch. And we're going to repeat this again and again. This thread right here, this yarn is going to be right here. We're just going to grab it, pull it through. Now you should have 2 on your hook. Slide it down just a little bit so you have room to work. Pull that towards you and pull it through both stitches. Now we're going to chain 4. Over, through, over, through, over, through, over, through. And we're going to do this all the way around. Again, you should have little loop-de-loops starting, and you'll see you can put your finger through them. They're actually like little loop-de-loops that you can put your finger through on each one. Okay? I'm going to go ahead and come all the way around, and I'll meet you on the other side. If you need to slow this down or rewatch, feel free to. All right, we're going through the next one. Through 1, 2, 3, 4, into the next stitch. Through both. 1, 2, 3, 4. And you're just going to keep the yarn down here kind of out of your way. Into the next stitch. Through, over, pull through 2. 1, 2, 3, 4. Into the next stitch, pull it through. There's 2 on your hook, pull it through both. Chain 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Gonna meet you on the next side. Here we go. How's it going for you? Do you feel like you're getting a good hang of it? Do you feel like you're totally lost? Let me know. If you have questions at any time, you can message, you can comment, and I will do what I can to help walk you through it, including making personal videos, FaceTiming, whatever we need to do to get you through your project. This right here is one of the easier ones, but it's hard to learn. Having said that, I feel like it's a great stepping stone when you're building foundation, because you're going to use a lot of these steps in future projects. So this is a good one, and it gives you something useful, and it makes a great Christmas present, and it looks great in your hair. These are some of the best scrunchies that you'll ever have in your entire life. They don't pull your hair. They last a long time. They just handle really well. They're comfortable to wear. They don't make your head feel super tight. I'm just pulling more through my little thing here so that I keep it loosey-goosey on here, because you don't want it to be resisting you. You want to have access to your yarn freely. So make sure you do that, because if you get a lot of tension, it tends to make your stitches tighter, and you don't want that. You want to try to keep your stitches consistent, all about the same size and shape and consistency as the previous stitches, if you can. Going through that stitch, pull through 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. And I know my hands are probably moving faster than you probably like if you're a beginner. So like I said, you can slow this down, you can pause it, you can work at your own pace through this. You definitely do not have to, it's not a race. All right, when we get to the end and there's no more stitches to go, you're at the next loop right here. See how we've got that loop? Somewhere at the top, you're going to see different stitches. It doesn't really matter which one, but you want to go through one of your stitches towards the top. So you're just going to put it through one side. So you'll have 2 on your hook. Let me just show that to you again. So we're all the way around. I know there's a lot of yarn going everywhere here. You're going to go all the way around. When you get to where there's no more stitches in between, it's time to do the next step. So we're going to put it through anywhere on this top part. Anywhere on this top part. Yarn over and pull it through both stitches. Okay? So at this point, you have actually made a small scrunchie. But for the video's sake, we're going to continue on. At this point, if this is all you want to do with a small scrunchie, you're going to yarn over, you're going to pull it through, and you're going to cut your yarn, and then you just pull this out. But we're not doing that, so we're going to chain 4 at this point. 1, we already did 1, 2, 3, 4. This is going into like regular and jumbo. This is something that you would do for both of those. Let me just pull more yarn for myself, because again, we want to make sure we give ourselves plenty of yarn to do our work. So it should look like this. You should have all your little loop-de-loops all throughout, and you should have a chain right here. We're going to hold on to this, and we're going to go through that loop. Remember I said you could put your finger through that loop? We're actually going to put the crochet hook through that loop, like literally through the loop. There's no stitch there, just through this hole right here. We're going to go in here. We're going to grab our yarn, pull it through. You're going to have 2 on your hook, yarn over, pull through, chain 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. We're doing the exact same thing that we did down here, except for instead of going into individual stitches, we're actually going into each loop. So every loop now is what you did down here with stitches. So we have the 4, we're going through the loop, we're going to grab the yarn, we're going to have 2 on our hook, we're going to yarn over, pull it through, chain 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now, let me just backtrack for a minute. I know I might have just confused somebody, so bear with me. So when we get through this point right here, where we've connected this, okay, before we start chaining anything, all right, what I want to do is chain 4, because this is our starting point. Remember, we've got the small right here. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, I want to take this stitch marker and I want to just put it in the top. You're just going to close it just like you would a safety pin. This is going to tell you where you started, because all these little loop-de-loops are going to start looking the same. They're going to start looking like each other. And so it's going to be harder at the end of this round to tell where you actually are stopping at, because you already have some loop-de-loops around it. So what we're going to do is we're just going to repeat what I just did. I just wanted to go back and add a stitch marker. For those of you who've never done this before, this could be very helpful for the first few times that you make this. So go through your loop, grab your yarn. You'll have 2 on here. You're going to yarn over and pull through. Don't worry about the stitch marker. It can stay right there. You're going to pull through even where the stitch marker's at. Don't worry about it. It's just something in your way. 1, 2, 3, 4. Go back through the next loop, grab your yarn, yarn over, pull through 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Let me slow that down just a little bit, because I sometimes get carried away. We've got this right here. We're just going to put this in that hole, just like so. We're going to grab that yarn, pull it through. Now we have 2. Yarn over, meaning pull it, remember we're pulling it towards ourselves, catch it with your hook, pull it through the 2. I find it easier to pull it through if I twist as I do it. Notice how my crochet hook moves. Watch as I start this chain 4. I'm going to pull over, and as I grab my yarn, you'll notice that I twist it so that the bottom of my hook meets the bottom of the teardrop shape, the bottom of the thing. Watch, yarn over, twist and pull, yarn over, twist and pull, yarn over, twist and pull. Now I'm going to go through here. Watch as I do this. I'm going to go in, see how I'm rotating it to grab that yarn, and I pulled it through. Now I got 2. I'm going to yarn over, and I'm going to twist and pull, and I'm just going to chain 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Again, into the loop, grab your yarn, pull it through, yarn over, pull it. All right, I'm going to meet you at the end. 1, 2, 3, 4, through the loop, pull my yarn through, yarn over, pull through, 1, 2, 3, 4, through the loop, grab the yarn, yarn over, pull through 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. At this point, do you feel like you're getting the hang of it? Once you get the hang of this, you can make these so easily and so quickly. It just takes a little bit of practice, but once you've got it, you've got it. And like I said, some of the things you do with this will help you in future projects. Mastering this will make other projects a lot easier. And they make, like I said, make great gifts. They feel great in your hair. You can't tell from this video, but I actually have extremely long hair. And I wear these quite often. Pretty much daily I wear my scrunchies. Because these are just the best scrunchies you'll ever have. My hair doesn't get caught up in them or tangled. Go through, pull, yarn over, pull through. 1, 2, 3, 4. They're comfortable on the head. They're stylish and fashionable. They're quick to make. So if you have like someplace you need to be, I'm just pulling some yarn out. If you have someplace that you need to be, but you don't have the right hair accessory to match your outfit, you can literally quickly make something really quick to go with anything. People love them. I can't tell you how many times I go through a drive-through or somewhere where somebody sees like the gear shift of my car and they see all my scrunchies that I've pulled out as I'm driving down the road. And they ask me, where did you get those hair ties? I've had people take them right off my gear shift because they wanted one. People love these. I've had people take them right out of my hair. Not because they're like taking them, but they're like, oh man, I'd love to have one. I would even take the one in your hair. So I give it to them. Excuse me. 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Through the loop. Through 2. 1, 2, 3, 4. Through the loop. Grab your yarn. Up. Yarn over. Go through 2. 1, 2, 3, 4. Back through the loop. Yarn over. Pull through 2. We are now at a place where our ticker tacker, our yarn marker, is where we started. And you can see that you've got a loop here and a loop here. Before we only had a loop on the bottom. Now we have a loop on the top. We're going to end this the same way that we did with the small. We're going to find a stitch up here at the top. And we're just going, and make sure your yarn's in front of you. We're going to go through just one of them, any of them. Pick one. We're going to yarn over and we're going to pull through both. Okay? Let's do that again real quick. We're at our place where there's no more stitches, there's no more loops to go through. We're there. All of these have a loop at the bottom and at the top. You're going to, at the top of your thing, you're going to find a stitch that you can get into. So just put it in anywhere. See how I did that? Just put it right in between a V. I'm going to yarn over. I'm going to twist and pull through 1, twist and pull through 2. Now I'm through 2. At this point, you can take your stitch marker out. We're going to go one more chain just like this, okay? Now we're going to grab our scissors. Let me just grab those. Sorry, I realize this video camera. I'm going to get an overhead, but for right this minute, this is what we're working with. And we're just going to pull it off about here. Okay, so just cut it. And now we're going to just pull it through just like so. Now you can take any other yarn that you have off of it. You've made your scrunchie. Your scrunchie is made. It's done. It's beautiful. But you have this tail. Now what are we going to do with this tail? In a previous video, gathering supplies, I mentioned about having one of these. One of these hooks that's smaller that you can weave. We're going to find a line. And we're just going to take this and we're going to weave it through. See how I'm weaving it? Just weaving it through different stitches to get it through the top. See how I did that? Just put it through in between different stitches. Now I'm going to wrap around and I'm just going to pull it through. This takes a little bit of practice, but once you do, just pull it. It comes through and now it's nice and secure. If you want it a little bit more secure, you can even come down here by the band and you can do the same thing. Run it through, grab your yarn, your little tail, yarn over and pull it through. And you're still going to have a little tail. What I like to do is I just like to cut that little piece off. And now you have your perfect scrunchie. Let me back you guys up a little bit. So now you have your perfect scrunchie. I hope this video was kind of easy to follow. I know it's a little bit hard when you're making a scrunchie to learn it at first. It does take a little bit of practice, but once you get it, and it's so good. And like I said, this is going to build your foundation. Like going through your scrunchie, the little black band, that's going to be a technique that you're going to use in the future when we're making animals and all kinds of other things. So, all right. Well, congratulations on your first scrunchie. Make sure you tell me how you did. Send me pictures if you want to. I'd love to see what you came up with. And that's it. If you have questions, feel free to comment. If you couldn't see good or whatever, let me know. Feedback on the video. Like I said, I am going to get an overhead so that you'll be able to see it a little bit better. Today was a little bit tricky, but if you have any feedback on better angles of the camera or something like that, feel free to share it with me, because I want to give you the best experience that I can. All right. Enjoy your scrunchie. Bye, guys. See you next time.